Hi everybody, Lance from datatraders.com here. In this video, I'm going to show how to read the safeguard trades on the Discord, how to look at your threads, and also how to log your trades on a spreadsheet. I log all my trades on the spreadsheet. It's on the ebook strategy channel on Discord. I would recommend you log your own trades as well. You could literally use the same exact one that I'm using, and you could just file, make a copy of it, and then add in your logs. If you're taking ones exactly like mine, you could just copy paste that link if you want. Or if you're doing slightly different strikes or different expirations or different premiums you collect, you want to be able to log it in yourself. And I'll show you the way that I'm using it. There's not necessarily a right or wrong way, but you could use my method or just slightly modify it to your taste. I personally look at quite a bit more data than you possibly need to, but that's just me being my OCD-ness. So we'll show you the Discord first and then show you the spreadsheet. All right, first, where to find and safeguard trades. So if you're on the main Discord here, if you go under Inner Circle, there's going to be a safeguard and strangle channel here. And then whenever I put in a new strangle or safeguard, you do get both included if you're in the safeguard membership. So new safeguard trade right here, and then you could click on the individual threads. So you click on messages here. You can see all the posts that are here. If you want to click on the thread page here, you could see all of the current safeguard trades that I have on. Sometimes I'll close a naked put on them, so I'll write closed, just the NP for naked put, but I'm still in the put debit spread part. So you just leave that alone. I'm going to keep it like that until the expirations happen. If I close the whole trade out, I'll write just closed, and then the actual strikes, I'll leave it open for about a week so you can follow along, but then I'm going to delete that thread because you won't really need it anymore. So if you click on a random one, this is the safeguard on ES. I'll do some FYIs. I'm not going to necessarily close it at that time, but I'm going to be putting in the trade exactly where it shows and what the current profit is. So some people might want to take in the profit a little bit quicker than others. That's why I'll post them and the data that's happening here. Okay. All right, so next I'm going to go over how to actually place the trade and how to read it. So this is a trade I did on 11/22, and I sold two naked puts at 39.50, and then we bought a very wide put debit spread, 4,500 bought the put, 43.50 sold the put, and I call it as a safeguard hedge because we have a big possible profit on the actual put debit spread. So you have to do these in two separate orders. First one we're going to do is buy the 4,500 put and sell the 43.50 put. So I'm going to go on your Tasty Trade and we'll look at /MES. It was about 114 days back then. Now it's 111. So you already placed the trade here for the 40. Double check 4,500. That was a slightly different expiration, looks like, but I'll just do it here. So at 4,500, you would be clicking on the ask, and then it shows in green B2O. That means you're buying the open. Then we're going to be selling the 43.50. Go to 43.50, click on the bid right here. And this will be a put debit spread. This will be for a net debit. And you can just leave these prices in, try to get filled where I got filled. If you have to go slightly higher or lower, it's okay. Click review and send, and then send it off. Once that's filled, then you want to do the naked puts. So you want to sell two of the 39.50s. So you can assume that this trade was already filled. We're going to go to the 39.50 here. Click on puts. And then you're going to add quantity 2 because we're selling 2 of them. And then again, look for a very similar credit. Review and send away. What's interesting about Thinkorswim with the brokerage, you can put the whole order in to see your buying power. So I'm going to click 3,500, 43.50. I only want one of these, so I'm going to highlight both of those, click quantity down one. So I'm buying one put debit spread, selling 2 puts, and then it will show the net credit when, if the whole thing would fill. You can't actually do it this way, but at least to monitor it. It shows the buying power needed, only 587 for it. and it shows the max profit 766. So if you're curious how much buying power you'll need on the trade, you just enter in everything to see what the buying power is, but then you want to fill them separately. Next, we're going to go over the trade log and how to actually read what I wrote here, and you can enter them yourself. I'll put the name of the strategy. I either do 112, 224 if I'm doing two contracts. I'll put the date sold. I'll put the day's expiration when I entered the trade. I also look at the expiration date. So I literally just go on Google. I'll type in 121 days from now. 121. And then it'll actually show us it's March 25th. So that's how I very quickly find the expiration date. It also says it on the brokerage. I'll do the stock price. So I'll put what the price of the MES or ES is at the time that I enter the trade. Then I'll do the strike prices, showing where the debit spread is and where the naked puts are. Then I put the naked put price. And the reason why I do this is I left a quick calculation over here to measure how far out of the money it is. All I have to do is just put your current MES contract price in here. I usually update this near the end of the trading day, and then it'll automatically show the percent out of the money it is. If you copy, so you do file, make a copy of the spreadsheet, and then you could do editing privileges for yourself. It should keep the same calculations here, so you're able to look at the contract price, type it in, and then you'll see the percent out of the money on current positions. Then premium naked puts, that's how much premium I took in for just the naked put part. Then the premium of the put debit spread, that's how much premium I had to pay for the debit part. For the net premium, I just subtract the put naked puts premium minus the PDS. That's this number here. And this is our initial credit that we're taking in. For the money collected, you just multiply this column by 5. So for that last hedge trade that I showed is 8.5 was a net credit when you started the position. Times it by 5, you got 42.5. And then I rate the delta. You don't necessarily need to do all this information, but I do this for my members and for myself so I can track it. Now the outcome part, whenever I close one part of the position, so if I close, say, the naked part of the position, I'm going to write the net profit on the nakeds. So for instance, in this one, I took in 39.5 in the naked puts. I bought them back for a net profit of 33.5. The PDS is still on, so I didn't write anything with the PDS yet. If it expires worthless, and there's probably a pretty good chance it will, it's at 4,300. So if this expires worthless, I'm going to be just writing in the debit. So I'd write negative 7.75 for the PDS. This is an easy way to track the total premium you got when you finish the whole trade out. Just take your naked profits, subtract or add the PDS. If I close the PDS higher than I bought it at, when the market has a downturn, you might profit on the PDS. I'll just write a plus here. So a few of these I did profit on the PDS as well. Approximate close date and naked profit. When I enter the trade in, I haven't done the last two yet, but when I enter the trade in, I put the approximate time it'll take to close your nakeds. So this one was 325. It's going to be probably around the end of February. And the next one again around the end of February. I'm not sure exactly when it'll happen. This is in the future, but I put an approximate date here. When it actually closes, I'm going to put it here. And then I write the DTE it took to do that. For the profit, I'm going to put the net profit. If it's like this, that means it's a completely closed trade. If it's in bulls, I didn't close the PDS yet. This is just the profit of the nakeds. I'm just waiting to change that number when the PDS shows a profit or loss. And then profit of 1.1K, because it takes about 1.1K per position that you do. I just take the net profit, divide by 1100, you get your return here. And then the return per month. What I do here is I take my net profit, I'm going to divide by the number of days it took to close the trade. So for instance, this one I made 193.75. It took 85 days to close the naked puts. No more risk anymore. It was just the PDS at the time. And then when the trade finally closed, I just took the 17.6%, divided it by the 85 days. That tells me the percent profit per day. And then I multiply by 30 to get the return per month. And I just manually calculate that part. Last part just shows the notes of what I did and why. So I hope you found this video useful. If you are currently a member, feel free to send me a message on Discord, or you can ask the group for help. If you're not a current member, we are offering a Black Friday sale until Monday at midnight, and I left the link of all the different Black Friday deals in the description down below. Again, last from datatraders.com. Hopefully you found this video helpful and useful, and have a good rest of the weekend.